Today in Zimbabwe, two men appeared in court charged with helping an American dentist kill one of the country's best-known lions. The case of Cecil the lion has sparked international outrage after officials said he was lured from a protected game reserve to be tracked and killed. Many have taken to social media to condemn the actions, putting a new spotlight on the big game hunting industry. From Nairobi, Karen Allen reports.
Cecil was already well known in Zimbabwe. Now he's the most famous lion in the world, shot dead by an American trophy hunter on a wildlife safari. It's claimed he paid $50,000 for the controversial trip, which is now making headlines around the world. In court today, the two men who led the expedition both face charges of poaching. A landowner, a professional hunter who organises legal hunts for tourists. Together, it's claimed they took the wealthy American out illegally without a valid permit. Just one word of regret.
How do you feel? Terrible.
Dr. Walter Palmer, a dentist from Minnesota, is the tourist that's now centre stage. These pictures show he's been on trophy hunts before, but in a statement he said he paid the two men to go on a legal hunt. He added, "To my knowledge, everything about this trip was legal and properly handled and conducted. I had no idea the lion I took down was a known local favourite, was collared and part of a study until the end of the hunt."
This study that we're conducting in Hwange National Park in Zimbabwe and have done for 20 years now is contributing to understanding the problems that lions face, how science can contribute solutions to those problems, how we can inform policymakers to make the future of lions better.
Of course, it's this extraordinary wildlife that drives tourism across Africa. So the widespread public outrage at the killing of Cecil wasn't simply a sentimental reaction, but a reflection of global concerns that in the past 2 decades across Africa, the numbers of lions have dwindled by a staggering 75%. The depletion of numbers largely down to animals being forced off the land. But there's a growing demand for recreational hunting.
Definitely, hunting safaris are becoming more popular. We find a lot of family groups coming over and they're combining the hunting with photographic safaris.
Hunting may be regulated, but poaching is now a multi-million-dollar business. The case of this favourite big cat may have caused anger across the world, but conservationists claim 24 other tag lions have been killed in Zimbabwe in the past 2 years, and no one has ever been sent to jail. Karen Allen, BBC News, Kapiti Plains, Kenya.
Well, outside the dentist office of Walter Palmer in Minnesota, there are protests being held, and our correspondent Gary O'Donoghue is there. Gary, judging by the scenes behind you, Walter Palmer is finding out what it's like to be hunted.
Yeah, in fact, one of the signs that greeted us when we arrived here about an hour and a half ago said, "Let the hunter become the hunted." So there's strong feelings here, and the protests really started getting going in the last few minutes behind me, as you can see. They're expecting hundreds to turn up. It's not quite that yet. And they're really accusing him of some terrible things. They're calling him a terrorist, a murderer, a killer. They want him extradited to Zimbabwe to face charges. I have to say there's no sign of Walter Palmer here at his dental surgery today. The fillings are going unfilled. There's no sign of him at his home as far as we understand. Only that statement he issued yesterday saying he regretted killing Cecil the lion and that he believed he'd done it legally.
What are the main objections from the protesters? We heard Karen talking there about this isn't about sentimentality, this is about big game hunting. Is that being reflected where you are, or is it because it's Cecil the lion?
Well, I mean, some of it's about sentimentality, there's no doubt about it. You only have to go up to the door here and see all the little animals, the stuffed animals have been left. There's a certain amount of sentimentality here. But there are people who object to the principle of hunting, even though, of course, the Midwest is a big area for hunting. They believe that lions and big game like that are an endangered species, and that really just paying big dollars to go and shoot them for sport is immoral, effectively. And that's the point they've been trying to make here today, and making it very forcefully. And I think the police here are aware that they're not expecting any particular trouble, but they are here just in case tempers and passions run particularly high. We had a sniffer dog here earlier, even checking there were no explosive devices around. So that's how seriously they're taking it.
Well, feelings running very high. Gary O'Donoghue, thank you very much indeed for joining us. An 8-year-old